Hello adventurers, and welcome back to my channel. Today we have a very interesting, different kind of stop. Now typically we're going to a lot of attractions, but along the way, where do you stop if you're tired? This is a very good question that I constantly am asking myself because I will drive for hours on end without rest. So I wanted to share one of my ideas with you guys. If you are in Texas especially, this is going to be beneficial, so let's roll the intro and get right to it. Now along the way, pretty much every state has some form of rest stop. Rest stops are designed so you can pull off, stretch your legs, get a maybe drink, take a bathroom break, or in some cases when you're super tired, take a little nappy poo. But in some of those states, those options aren't always the best. Bathrooms can be dingy or grimy, not the best kinds of people lurk around them, and some of them just aren't well lit. But Texas has been proactive and changed all of that. They have designed something called the safety stop, and it is one of my absolute favorite places to stop off along the way just to take a stretch, to get a drink, or to learn something. Let me show you why. Now let me paint you a little picture as to why I found this particular safety stop. Last night it had gotten dark, very dark. I was on the I-10 and I'm going along, and all of a sudden it starts to rain. As it starts to rain, I start to notice that I am getting a little bit more tired, and I didn't think I could make it to the next state park, so I wanted to stop off somewhere where I knew it would be safe. Now, while truck stops are also an option if you're a motorist, sometimes those also aren't going to fit the bill of exactly what you need. So I found this, the Gonzales safety stop, and pulled right on in. There was like one or two different cars here, some semis over on the other side, and it was quiet, super quiet. It was a perfect place for me to stop off, get out, stretch, use the restroom, and then sleep for a little while before having to go on my way once again. So as you can see, here I am. Now, because no two safety stops are the same, each one has something a little bit different. This one, for example, has a nature trail, and along the nature trail there are little signs that tell you a little bit more about some of the vegetation that you might find. I've also seen some squirrels, some little bunny rabbits, things like that out here. It's been absolutely wonderful, and I have the trail to myself, so naturally this is a win-win for me. So you might be asking at home, what makes a safety stop so much more secure, other than the fact that it's well lit? And there are many factors that play into this. The first of which being they have cameras strategically placed throughout the parking lot so that they can monitor everything. So if something is going awry, they know. And then they can dispatch a police officer immediately. In addition, there's the dedicated staff member who makes sure that the place is maintained and looks nice. This morning they were rounding up all the trash from the trash cans. They clean the bathrooms pretty regularly so that they're always spotless. And they make sure that you never are lacking for anything in the vending machine. You'll notice that little Dimples is parked exactly where I parked last night. Over here, there is the road access. And then as you kind of move along, you have a path directly into the main facility, which is literally right here. Now again, when I pulled in, there was hardly anyone here, so I literally just picked a spot that I knew was close to the building because it gave me that little extra sense of security, and I closed up for the night. It's perfect. I could hear a little bit of the road noise, as you probably can in this video right now, but it wasn't anything that was a deal breaker. No different than staying at some of the places that I've had to stay in the past. But there's a little bit more to this place, so I'm going to show you around. Like the picnic areas that all have plug-ins. So you can come out here and set up shop to work if you have a long enough cord. It's really nice, guys. This is well shaded and it keeps you out of that Texas heat, especially during the summer. Nice wide paths that are super even so you can navigate around. And there's a variety of different areas you can explore. all leading back to the main safety stop building. Over here, guys, you'll notice that there is a separate area for the semis, and they have plenty of room to spread out. And of course, larger RVs can also go on that side, but it is kind of nice because it segregates the smaller vehicles from the larger vehicles, so the smaller vehicles aren't in the way of the larger vehicles and vice versa. So there's plenty of space for everybody here. Lots of trash receptacles. And then for this next part, guys, we're going inside, so we're going to put on our mask because it's the law. Now, something that I love the most about safety stops is each one of them has a museum within the safety stop itself that focuses on the subject matter that might be relevant to the area that you're in. So right now we're at the Gonzales site. So all of the things that we're going to find here are going to be linked back to that particular time frame and era when Gonzales was a part of Texas history. For example, this. Early settlers of the San Antonio and Central Texas area included the Seguin family. And here we can learn a little bit more about them. But more importantly, they have some items that are on loan to the Visitors Center here that were relevant to the time. Now, did you know that the come and take it flags that we see so often now, just randomly, actually have a tie back to the Gonzales era? It says here that this was all about the cannon that was a part of the Gonzales battles. So basically, right here, the first cannon fire had to do with a rusty, old, nasty looking cannon in Gonzales. And it tells the entire history of that story right here for you to see, and it gives you a little bit of a visual. But we're not finished there. There's another display right here about it as well. Right here there are a few murals that you can find, and it tells you kind of where they are and what they portray. Also some photos of the cannon that was used in Gonzales. And did you know that Gonzales was known as the Lexington of Texas? Now, the come and take it flag was originally a taunt. It was a taunt to try to say, nanny nanny boo boo, we have the cannon and you don't. Come and take it, we dare you. All the while they were setting up for something much more sinister. And I think that it was kind of known that way because the troops ended up withdrawing instead of engaging. And so that is my brief storytelling of the cannon from the come and take it flag. Now, of course, like everything else in the world, there have been some modifications made to the safety stops in way of displays that are available. The touchscreens are not available for us to touch today, and that's okay. I completely understand. It probably is very damaging to have to sanitize them after every single user, so safe, not sorry, and that's fine. The stagecoach is telling us about the Indianola Trail, and this was the mother of Western Texas settlement. As you can see here, this is the trail route that it followed along, and it went all the way from New Braunfels, where we've been before, to Indianola. Now, stagecoaches like this one used to be the way that everything moved, but in 1881, the railroad actually replaced the stagecoaches in this area and made stagecoaches a dying breed. It's kind of like whenever they continuously upgrade different kinds of cars and then suddenly some of them are no longer anything that's value. Same thing. This was the car of the time. But before that happened, they did have the cart wars. The cart wars were a hostile eruption of trade wars, all revolving around being able to transport goods and services. So lots of different things came of that. And some of these are quite interesting facts to know, that in the 1850s, the Mexicans and the Tejanos had built their successful businesses with these ox carts, but it was a battle. As you can see, guys, there's a lot of history to be seen in one of these safety stops. But now I think we're gonna do what most people do. We're gonna get something out of the vending machine and take it on the road. We have had our stretch break, and it is time to get on to our next adventure. Now guys, if you're looking at a map like I am right now, Houston is right here and San Antonio is here. A little bit outside of San Antonio is kind of where we're at. We're in about this area right here. Okay guys, we got something to drink, and if your name happens to be Ashley, I'm having this Coke with you because it told me to. But I hope that you have enjoyed today's video of checking out just one of the random places that you can find along the way should you need something to take a break, take a breath, take a rest. Places like this exist so that we can use them. So I definitely encourage you guys to, if you are in Texas or in another state, look up places like this when you're on your road trips. I know sometimes, guys, that we can have those long 6, 7, 8 hour driving days, and it can feel like it's going to last forever. But with places like this, it can be a nice little calm stop along the way, or a place to stay. Till next time, guys, bye.